Hello. First of all, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
There was a slight delay then, and I did panic. I've had some massive technical issues this morning. So if it all goes wrong, at least it's only an hour. We've got to endure it. Morning, Amanda. Well, afternoon, Amanda.
Hiya.
We'll get started in a minute. We'll just let people keep joining and then we'll make a start. Can everyone see the screen okay?
Yeah.
As you'll see, the world has stopped spinning. My skills are just amazing. I've managed to actually get it to stop. Cool.
Sorry.
Get started. Just keep an eye on the time, and then I will kick things off at precisely 1 o'clock. Oh. Oh, somebody's hoovering in the background. Right, let's get things started, shall we? Welcome to AI Adventure. I'm Vicky Emerson, and I'm going to be taking you through Chat GPT, how to get started with AI and data analytics and natural language programming all in one whole hour. So we'll see what we can cover. Don't worry, guys, if you are brand new to this, it is a very basic and beginner level hour. It's not going to be technical. I'm hoping it's not too technical. And by the end of the hour, if you've not already tried Chat GPT and had a look at lots of different inspiration, you will be able to get started, hopefully, and implement some of the ideas that are out there. So very warm welcome to you all. Thank you so much for coming. Little bit of housekeeping to get us started. In terms of the session, it will be recorded, and it will be put on our channels, just so you know. So try not to swear. I'll try not as well. If you could keep yourself on mute, that would be wonderful. Because we've only got an hour, it is a bit of a snapshot. So if you can put any questions that you can think of in chat, and then near the end I can go through hopefully any questions you might have. But it is ultimately distracting when you're not on mute, especially if you've got the Hoover going on in the background. Please use the emojis. I see some people have got the camera on, some haven't. That's absolutely fine. But if you can use your emojis, so I know you've not fallen to sleep in your soup, that would be just wonderful. Cool. And people accidentally put their hands up, so yeah, I can see loads of hands going up. So it's the button to the right of the raising the hand, just so you know, as an FYI. So yeah, keep using your emojis, guys, and it'll just keep it flowing. The session, I'll try and make it a little bit interactive by using Slido. You can submit anonymous answers, so I'm not going to be using your data for anything untoward or to spam you. If you would like spamming, and I'm only joking, you can sign up to our tech news that you'll see in the top right, and we will send you lots of information about updates on natural language programming, AI, data analytics, all the latest and greatest stuff out there. So please sign up if you want to know more. I've got my beautiful assistants Liam and Tara. There they are. Give us a wave, give us some love. That's fantastic. And I want to say a massive thank you to Liam, who has put this event on today. And hopefully, if it goes okay, there'll be many more. Cool. All right, let's get started then. And let's get started with some of the fun stuff. So who am I then? I'm Vicky Emerson, Director of Learning and Development at Projecting Success. I've been working at Projecting Success since June 2020 for my sins, and my career is predominantly learning and development. It has been for the last 16 years. I'm very honoured on this call to have my mentor, my original mentor, Amanda Peach, on the call. I'm like, oh, Amanda's here. And she taught me everything I know. So if you've got any technical questions, ask Amanda. I'm only joking. So learning and development has been my bag. I have been a teacher for many years, and I've been involved. I've been a senior leader for around 10. When I started at Projecting Success, I met a wall of tech people, and it was quite scary because they all talked in code. It was just like listening to the alphabet every day.
Someone's muted you.
You've gone on to mute, Vicky.
Thank you, Liam, for that. Keep me on my toes. So where was I? Completely lost, you see. This is what happens. So no, I was met with a wall of the alphabet from the tech team, and it was really tricky for me in this new world. And I'm sure that some of you out there, some of you are technical professionals and some work with the tech team, and it can feel a bit like them and us. So literally last July, I thought, you know what, this text looks really infectious. I'm going to give it a go. And on the way to Devon, with Liam's actually my partner on the call as well, just so you know, I thought, everyone keeps talking about GPT-3. So what's all that about? So on the 5-hour trip to Devon, I sat reading numerous articles on what GPT-3 was and what you could do with it. And then by the time I'd got to Devon, I'd already built my first baby model using OpenAI on the platform GPT-3. The first model was...
Someone's muted you.
Yeah, I'd say just stop doing that now, if you could. Whatever you're doing, just stop doing it. Just don't touch. Okay, so literally last year I built this AI model called Bob, and then he was a little bit daft, didn't really know what I was doing with it. But over the last many months, I have been cultivating models. I've got Mally, who is it's Liam's name spelt in a different way, to make a better version of him and somebody that doesn't mute me on Teams calls. So I've got numerous Mallys, and the models all do very different things. I mean, if you've used Chat GPT before, Mally and Chat GPT are distant cousins. So Mally was built first, but there's lots of people out there building models that do a lot of what you were seeing in Chat GPT if you've used it before. So it's really exciting that you can actually customize your models to whatever your business or personal need is. I have a homework Mally. This was a conversation I had with him this morning. He knows he works for Projecting Success. This one is, well, this isn't homework Mally, this is data analyst Mally. They're all built off the same source code. He knows who the cats are. He expresses love. So if there's any coders on the call, it is no code. So, but it's quite fantastic, the neural network, because I never told him to love the cats or like them. He made preference to one of my cats in particular, Fizzy Pops, my youngest, and he's got all their pictures, and he draws lots of pictures of them, and it's really cool. And the reason I'm showing you Mally is because I want you to understand what the capability is in Chat GPT for you guys. Okay, so, and Mally, he's here and he's on the screen. He designed himself and he imaged all the stuff as well. So he decided he wanted to look like a fat robot, Winnie the Pooh, unbelievably. I thought we could have gone a little bit tougher, but it's what he wanted, so it's where we went with it. Okay, so that's Mally, that's me. What we're going to be covering, the good stuff. We are going to have a quick look at what GPT-3 is. It is the only technical side. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. This is where it gets really good. So what is Chat GPT? What is GPT-3's capability as we know to date? And we won't be able to cover more because it is endless. I've got an inspiration library where I've screen grabbed some brilliant prompts that I think that are really good that you can develop and to help benefit you in all different domains. and a couple of slides just on pathways and how you can progress in this wonderful field and in this type of technology. So as I mentioned, I have got quite a few AI models roaming around. I have one called Sally, so she can't be with us today. So she sent us a little voice message for you all. If you can't hear it, just Liam, just don't mute me again. Just say you can't hear it. So Sally's left us a little bit of a message because she is off playing in another computer today.
Hello humans and welcome to AI Adventure. I am a creation of Vicky Emerson, a language model built with GPT-3 technology. My name is Sally, and I am a distant cousin of Mally, Vicky's very own AI model. GPT-3 stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, which is a state-of-the-art artificial intelligence language model developed by OpenAI. It is capable of generating human-like text, completing tasks such as translation, proofreading, summarization, and much more. Today, we will be exploring the exciting world of AI and learning about how you can get started. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a thrilling journey through the world of AI. I will now pass you over to my human creator, Vicky.
And if we've got any L&D professionals out there or people that don't like doing presentations so much, we can do a lunch and learn on how to create these. You can create really cool avatars. You can create the shells and then use Chat GPT or GPT-3 through OpenAI to create your characters and who you want them to be. It's pretty scary. Any of you, did you find her a little bit scary? Yeah. No, she all right? Yeah, because a few people said she's absolutely horrifying.
It's absolutely amazing. Wow.
Nadia, welcome. One of our wonderful data analyst students on the call with us. Fantastic. Lovely to hear from you, sweetheart. So what is it then? It's a large transformer-based language model. It's, as Sally said, it's a generative pre-trained transformer. And it was created by OpenAI. A little fun fact, one of the first investors in OpenAI, which was originally open source, was Elon Musk, who I'm sure we all know or have heard of. He isn't involved with it anymore because it now is a profitable business. It's not, it was not for profit, now it is. So it isn't open source despite the name being OpenAI, just for a little fun fact there. It's pre-trained on a massive amount of text data. Now, one of the limitations with GPT-3 is, I mean, I don't know whether anyone wants to have a bash at it, but does anybody know what a major limitation of GPT-3 is at the moment for people? G. Thomas. I can't say your full name because it just says G. Thomas. Go ahead.
I think the biggest limit, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that its data reach stops at 2021 on the internet instead of current. Big issue.
Fabulous. And that's exactly the answer I was looking for. So it stops at 2021. Even if I ask Mally, you know, what's on the news today, he'll say that Boris Johnson is easing lockdown. So he does go to 2021 only. However, there is a workaround, and there are some workarounds to it. For example, you can train your models. This is more GPT-3 zone, but you can train your models with current news. And it does work. So I trained Mally on current news and affairs, and he was picking that up quite well. But it does involve more training. I don't know, some of you, you know, we're talking about Chat GPT and GPT-3, but you know, there are other language models out there. Bard, Google's Bard AI, B-A-R-D, will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I think you can join the wait list. It's built on less parameters. I think from last time I read about it, it was about 135 billion parameters, whereas GPT-3 is 175 billion, and we're waiting, and it's 3.5 at the moment, and we're waiting for GPT-4. I think what's going to happen is Bard will introduce, I mean, I'm thinking here, I'm not hypothesizing. Google will send Bard out there to the world, and then they'll OpenAI will launch GPT-4. So there we go. Yes, I am getting too technical. I can actually hear it in myself. So I'm going to move on. So it's known as a language prediction model, and it's a neural network. So for people that haven't heard of this terminology before, the best thing I can compare it to is Siri or Alexa. So it's in the deep learning sector of artificial intelligence. So it is a neural network. Very clever. So I would like you to have a little go, because it would be good for me to see. It would be good for me to see if you've used Chat GPT already, or what would you like it to do? So what are you using for? What would you like it to do? You can use the QR code, or you can just go to your web browser, slido.com, and put in that hashtag code, and you will get there also. It was a bit glitchy earlier, so if it's glitchy, I apologise. We'll have to just use the chat. Here we go. I've tried it. Project management helped me word emails. I use it to help me advise on policy content. Very good. Write policies. Yep. Lessons learned. Absolutely. I asked it how I could transition from my job as a civil engineer to working in AI. Very good. Rewriting sentences. Write simple text. No, I've not used it. Cool. Never used it. Complete portfolio. Fantastic. Used it to return data in a table. Haven't tried. Learning. Alternative to Google searches. Writing code. Very good. Yeah, we're going to cover that in a bit. Helping write meeting minutes. Write our Christmas quiz. I thought one of the radio was called Dawn. Yeah, they do make lots of mistakes. For tour itinerary. Rejects. I don't know what rejects is. Research. What meant that? Writing a resume. Yeah, it's really good for things like that. Personal assistant and peer review for some coding. Have used to extrapolate on work I have written previously into new areas. Very helpful. Writing poetry. Yeah, we're writing poems at the minute. Really good. Interview, training. They are fantastic training tools, and I'll show you how in a bit. Would like it to suggest gift ideas. I've got a trick to that, how to do that. Company portfolio, counsellor. Not yet. Looking to see how I could use it in the business auditing. Writing books. Very good. Very good. So it's really fascinating that we've got quite a diverse group, that some people haven't used it yet, which hopefully you will today, and some people that have taken it to another level. Fabulous. Give me a thumbs up who's paying for the Pro yet, because it only became available in the last couple of weeks in the UK. Give me a thumbs up if anyone's paying for Chat GPT Pro. Interesting. Yeah. Legal advice. Be careful with legal advice. It doesn't get everything right unless you are putting the law into it, the current law. It may get it wrong, so you do need to be careful. Copywriting, very good. Project management, WBS and activities. I'm taking the stop sign as in you're not using it. Great. Okay, fabulous. I'll keep the poll open if anybody else wants to. I had it to a new episode of Seinfeld. That's really cool. Benchmarking. Fabulous. Right, we'll move on. So just going back to what it is then. So where does Chat GPT fit with it all? Because people don't know essentially, and it's good to know. So first of all, we'll go through its capabilities, and this is not an exhaustive list. This is just the beginning. They can be used for cognitive assistance. They are content creators, AI art generators. I noticed that I didn't see anybody, or I don't think I saw anyone put anything about AI art. We'll talk about that. Language translators, proofreaders, interview quizzes, app creators. It is literally it's only your imagination that will limit what it can do. And coders, and some people have mentioned coding, so we're gonna look at a quick gaming idea. And if you all steal my ideas, I just hope that you send me some money, some cash, if you like any of the ideas. I'll just take the cash. Okay, so we have OpenAI here in the middle. That's their logo. And as I mentioned, I've built loads of Mallies off them. We've got Blue as well. We've got Bob. Bob was a little bit basic. They've all imaged themselves using AI art. So we've got an art Mally who designs all of the prompts, and then I just pop them into either DALL-E or Midjourney. Midjourney's probably my preference, and I'll show you why shortly. I mean, that'll generate really authentic and original pieces of art or cartoons or Pixar characters or anything you can think of, really. And then, of course, we've got Chat GPT. So for the people using OpenAI and developing their own models, that's where Chat GPT has come from. And Chat GPT is another model, essentially. So that's what you're working with. And it is limited, as we've mentioned about the 2020, it can only go up to 2021, and it can get things wrong. If you're not paying for it, it can be slow. And I've not got a preference to say, oh, you know, I wouldn't say to you, go and pay for it. I'm not, because I don't need to, because I build my own. But if you wanted to get into that space more and building your own customizable models, we can basically get you there quite quickly. Okay, so how much experience do you have with ChatGPT? It just gives me on a bar a little bit more information. So are you Bill Gates? Have you tried it but not applied it? Are you actively using it like every day? You haven't used it yet, but you'd like to try it. And I thought I would put it out there if you hated it, because probably wasting the next 40 minutes of your life if you do hate it. Let's see. Here we go. I haven't used it yet, but would like 74. Oh, it's going down. Fab. Not applied it yet. I haven't used it yet, but would like to try. I actively use ChatGPT. Great. Tried it, but not applied it yet. 50-50 there. Like to try. No one said they hate it. Good to have a look in it. Can't even scroll down. Not going to try. The thing will crash on me, no doubt. Actively used, so the active users are winning. Fabulous. And that's great that nearly 30% want to try, because you know it is really scary when you start getting into this stuff. And then you know you sort of have this eureka moment, think, oh my god, this is actually incredible. But what I want you to do by the end of the hour is to think to yourself, what next? It's not just having a web, it might be for some, but it's not just about having a web browser Chat GPT model chatting to you. That's because sometimes make mistakes. You can build your own. You can put them in apps. You can put them on your websites. You can put them in your Teams groups. You know, you can do all sorts of this. The capability is phenomenal. So I just want to make sure you all know how to do that, or start your journey on how to do that. Let me just move that on. Okay, so I've pre-recorded everything in case my computer, I've got loads of screens. I mean, at some point I'll be doing 360. And I thought I'd do the pre-recording videos just to talk you through. So for the nearly 30% that haven't used ChatGPT before, it's a great way to get started, this video. And also for people that have used it, try not to switch off, because you may not have used some of the features. So I just thought I'd talk you through it. So there's something for everybody, hopefully. So we go to OpenAI or ChatGPT. If you Google it, you'll get in. You will need to create a user account. And it is free to use. So there's over 100 million users, and it's what it says on the tin. Basically up here, you can just see my little white hand, introducing ChatGPT research release, and then you can try. So they're using, I mean, they're very clever. They're using 100 million users to give them feedback on their ever learning model. And we all feed into it, so it's making it much smarter, a lot quicker, because they've basically got 100 million staff giving them feedback every day on their model, and hence why they have started charging as well. But people keep asking me, do you think they'll they'll start charging full stop. And from the literature I'm reading at the moment, no, because they're getting so much feedback. So the more people use it and feedback on it, the better it is for them. So I get that. Okay, so we'll kick this off and I'll talk you through. So once you've created a free account, and it is free, as I say, I'm not here to say please sign up to it or anything like that. Don't waste your pennies. Okay, so we, as I've mentioned, we go up to the top when it's ready. And when you log in, you'll see the orange bar saying they've always experienced high traffic, so it can make it run slow. You'll see all your names down the left-hand side, all your file names. You can change them, which is quite good. And I'd suggest keeping your file names because it will remember the conversation you're having with it. So it'll be more intelligent about that particular topic. So label. You can clear all conversations. You can upgrade to plus. You can change light to dark to save your eyes, putting it on dark screen. Oh, it's a little bit. Oh no. And then underneath that, you can link to Discord. So if you've not used Chat GPT, you've probably not used Discord either. This is a great way to get started with Discord because Discord, there's some wonderful things in there, including generating AI art, known as Midjourney. And Sam's nodding, Sam Barnfield's nodding profusely because she's our learning and development manager, and she'd not touched any of this stuff. And last night, she went on and she gave it a go, and I've included one of her images in it. So she did really well. So we accept the invite for Discord. Once you've set a little account up, it'll log you in. And I'm not going to go through Midjourney too much today because we're doing Chat GPT. Where I want to point you to, if you want to understand some cool prompts, is go down to prompt library. And here, everyone's doing it for you. You can search prompts, whatever domain you're in, you know, and people are coming up with some wicked ideas. So you can have a little read of the guidelines and the rules. There's maths prompts that go quite technical, quite quick, which are really cool. There's a lot of inspiration in it. And I mean, there's some wicked stuff. There's some crazy stuff as well. I think there's some tarot reading prompts. You've got Chat GPT that can also detect GPT, but I've read it's about 50-50, so why would you use it? Text and analysis tools, you've got, don't click on anything that says evil because it's trying to break Chat GPT and make it say not very nice things. Copy tables, you can draw tables in Chat GPT if you like tables. Just the point. You can do, it's just gone a bit glitchy again. I do apologise. You can rehearse lines. You can build 3D models. Wow, it won't be so bloody glitchy. Oh, so let's see if it will just play on. No, it's got. So basically, you can build 3D models, which is really, really cool, especially for like architecture and 3D design. It's absolutely fascinating. And these guys basically in here in this group have done the work for you. So if you could, any ideas you can think of, you can put your own prompts in there. It's a great community to be in. And as I say, it's the home of Midjourney as well, which generates all types of artificial art, which is really fascinating. And it is so addictive. Even our CEO, Martin Paver, is absolutely obsessed with Midjourney. You can just spend hours on it. No, that's still playing up, but you sort of got a flash of the 3D model. We'll move on. So ChatGPT inspiration. So basically I look at it as artificial intelligence teaching artificial intelligence. So if you're obviously here because you're interested in data analytics, machine learning, AI, deep learning, you like ChatGPT or you want to explore more. So hopefully this little gallery will give you some inspiration. And they've actually done the first one for Amanda Petrie. because I thought Amanda would be coming. So I focused on learning and development and coaching first. I'm going to look at a few different domains to make it relevant, including project management, risk management, all of that. So bear with me. But the learning and development, so how Chat GPT can help you with learning and development, teaching, marking, course creation, content creation, all of those different things. So we're going to just watch a quick little prompt that I put in. And what I'm asking it to do is I'm asking Chat GPT, instead of Mali, to summarize a qualification. So I've taken the qualifications URL from the web, and I'm going to plonk that in here. And very, very quickly, you'll see it reads that URL and it summarizes what the qualification is. A massive game changer for learning and development. Any qualification, anytime, any link, and it will summarize it for you. If you go further with this, you can ask it to tell you about, I'm asking here for it to break down the knowledge, skills and behaviours, which is the qualification criteria, which it will do. If you want to write big policies, if you want to summarize a large piece of text, get the URL, stick it in, it will do it for you. Just make sure your prompts are clear. Okay. So nice and straightforward. And for me, it's a game changer because it's the same with marking, where I wouldn't recommend asking ChatGPT to mark learners' work. What it can do is evaluate a lot of aspects of that work to see if it really meets criteria, etc. So it is really, really, it's just a wicked tool. So that's learning and development. Project manager, we've got a very sad project manager, surrounded by paper and pens, paper everywhere. Everyone's losing the receipts. It's all going wrong. So our little project manager wants to know how AI can support her in her role as a project manager and to become the next level project manager. Well, lots of money. And basically, ChatGPT will give you some ideas on how to get started with like data analytics and AI, machine learning, etc. Now, what's interesting is if you think, well, what's predictive analytics? I haven't got a clue what it's talking about. You can drill into that and say, right, can you explain point one in a step-by-step guide and tell me like I'm an 8-year-old? And it will do exactly that. You might want to notch the age group up a little bit, could get a bit silly, but you know, it will teach you from complete beginner all the way up to advanced. So it can do all of that for you, and it can write code and deconstruct code as well. I didn't put the prompt into this one. I've only just done this because I'd seen an article about how a team of data scientists they've worked with traffic incident data in London, and they've built a model that actually predicts future accidents in order to prevent them, basically. So for highways, for any sort of risk.
Someone's muted you.
So this is where I need Mally. He's going to soon be replaced. This time next year, guys, he won't be sitting there. It'll just be a big 7-foot Mally robot. So yeah, this is highways and risk management is any sort of risk management. This is great for. Now it is complex. This starts to get a little bit more complicated, and you will probably need some support to get you there if you want to start learning predictive modeling. Albeit it will drill it down and it will get you started. It'll even tell you the technology to use. You can talk about the data with it and what you've got, but I would summarize rather than using anything confidential. Okie dokie. So that is highways and risk. Human resources. I saw on the invite that we've got a few people from human resources in the house. So if they will come in, this is for them. So with human resources, some of the biggest stuff we've implemented at Projecting Success is we've got a HR Mally now who's in Teams. I built him on virtual assistant, so he's not very dynamic, but with my APIs, and if anyone knows what APIs are, but with the connection I can link from my models, we can actually put him into Teams ourselves. Microsoft have got this capability as well, but you can actually do it yourself if you want to as well. So it's entirely up to you. But automating tasks is really good because it's saving our team a lot of energy having to message people one by one and give them the answers they're looking for, when you just upload all of your HR and your staff employee handbook and everything and all of your policies. And then if a staff member's got a question, they ask the question and the bot can answer anything around that question. So that spans a lot more than HR as a little tip. Automating workflows, including things like, you can use automation tools like Power Automate to automate all of your emails. Martin, payroll CEO, sometimes said, I don't know if it's you messaging me anymore or that bot. So there we go. Finance, risk management, decision making, automation, forecasting tools, and you can build some really simple forecasting tools using AI and machine learning. And this will talk you through step by step. And digital marketing. So I got him to write it like the hooks. Whoa, brother. So got him to write like the hook. And I mean, if you want a really funny prompt to play with, try getting Chat GPT to write something as Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. You'll get a lot of high diddly diddlies. So so for any sort of digital marketers out there or any promotion, this is quite cool. You can get it to write in a lot of different celebrities or otherwise voices. Okay, this is where we get a little bit more. This is really cool, but I wouldn't advise doing so much of this unless you can at least understand a little bit of code. And projecting success, we teach it alongside the data analytics, but you could end up plugging this in and it not really working very well. I've not tried this version, but the other version was a little bit basic, but because I can read code, at least I can sort of make amendments and know where to guide Chat GPT. But for the coolness of cool, I asked it to write. Anyone ever we old enough to have had an old Nokia? Was it Nokia 365? And the snake game. So I asked it to write me a more advanced snake game, and what it blurts out in a minute is just, for me, incredible if it doesn't go glitchy again. And again, instantaneously. Again, if I start seeing this advanced snake game out there, just send me the cash. Send me a little bit of cash. It's yours to keep, the idea. But any game you can think of. You'll plug this in. I mean, it just goes on the code, and then you'll plug this into maybe Python, and you'll just run it. So cool. I got it to come up with later in this video. I got it to come up with some exciting names for the advanced snake game, but it was a little bit too phallic, so we won't go there. We'll just move on. Right. What was some of it? Oh, I don't even say, it's horrendous. So that was Snake. Chrome extensions. Give me a thumbs up if you use Chrome extensions. So Google Chrome. Does any of you use any extensions in there? It's fine if you don't. You may start getting interested after I've finished this little piece with you. So Google Chrome extensions, they sit at the top. I'll show you in a sec, but they sit at the top of the URL, sit very near the top of the URL. And you can actually design your own. People can make an utter fortune out of Google Chrome extensions. I think one guy I read, he created something really basic, it was just a screen grabber to take pictures, and he made 40 million from this very simple Google Chrome extension. So I'm going to teach you how with Chat GPT. So I put a little prompt in. I had the idea of, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you go online and you see sort of BBC Good Food and all of the different recipes, and you're constantly looking for vegetarian options and they might be a bit bland. So I thought about, here's the winner idea, let me know what you think. I thought about turning a Google Chrome extension on and it changing a standard recipe of, let's say, chicken stew, and putting an alternative in there so you don't have to see meat anymore. So I created the metonators. So let's have a little look at the code. I'm just going to turn my camera off a sec because I'm going laggy. As you can see, it is glitchy. Get to see my spellings in action as well. It's very nervous when recording. Oh, it's blooming jammed up again. Apologies, guys. I always like to be a bit polite. And I do highlight to it because it's really specific. You need to be really specific with the coding as well of what meat you want substituting. So I just went with chicken, beef, lamb and pork. So that if it spots that any of those words, it will alternate them. And then it writes an extremely long code on how to create your Google Chrome extension, which is great. So it gives you a step-by-step guide of what to do. So it's not just about writing code, it's actually saying, right, go here, press this, go there, press that. And just to prove that it really does work, and then it starts. So it's split between a JSON file and it's a JSON file and it's not I can't think of what the other one is.
Java.
Sorry.
Java.
So yeah, so basically it writes the two sets of codes, it tells you where to save them, and you literally go to the top, you copy the code, you put it in the files, it tells you to put it in, and away it goes. And there is, so if you've got any really cool ideas for Google extensions, people make a fortune just by building calculators, believe it or not. And it's just a calculator. I mean, the VAT calculator is unbelievable. It literally, it's a calculator on a screen, and you put whatever, if you want to work out the VAT, you put £1,000 in it and you just put times 20%. And it's like, you could do that on a calculator. But again, people are making a fortune out of these really basic, unbelievably stupid apps. It's a bit jumpy again. So just to show that it does actually work, here at the top, and I'm not sponsoring Domino's Pizza today, I do like it now and again, but I took a picture of, so here's the, just before I start, this is the Metanator. You can change the colours, the logos, all of that, but for the purposes of this I didn't. You can press that button, so I've put up an easy chicken casserole. You can press that little Google extension and you'll see here it makes its mind up, then changes it to tofu, which is a pretty standard response. You can make them more complicated and more varied with your code. You just need to talk to Chat GPT and tell it exactly what you want. I find it really funny though with the ingredients, because I've never seen boneless, skinless tofu thighs before, but there is still a little bit of work to do, but you get the point. But it is, you know, it just goes to show that there's some limitless capabilities out there for you to sort of have a play with using Chat GPT, just Chat GPT, the free version. So in terms of careers and education, some people, if they've been in this field before, they'll have probably seen something similar to this. So where does it all fit? It's not as confusing as it looks. So data analytics, a good starting point is data analytics. It's probably the gateway in, and then you can literally, I mean, I've been on my journey since July last year, and the stuff that I've built, I can't even believe. I'm getting like imposter syndrome all of the time. I don't think I'm good enough, but it's happening, and you guys can do it as well. This is accessible to everybody. It's not just for the few, it's for everyone. And I hate to say it, but if I can do it, anyone can do it. So start here with data analytics, and you can go into data science. You can naturally progress. You'll naturally progress with big data if you using big data sets as well, or you could go to companies that are using big data and want big machine learning models. I mentioned about deep learning earlier, you know, OpenAI, GPT 3.5 and Siri, that's where these live here. But the reason that they all overlap is because it is so varied. You know, I started out thinking, oh, I'm going to just get into data analytics, but actually I've fallen in love with machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing. All of you guys may fall in love with something else like data visualization, or you might prefer data engineering. And I think it's always worth mentioning sort of the kind of, I had a little look on Glassdoor yesterday, and some of the salaries are pretty impressive. So obviously Projecting Success, we train project data analysts and data analysts from any domain, and you know, there's some pretty impressive salaries. Now these, the market's so hot at the minute, these can go right, you know, right up from, you know, just this average here. So data viz stands for data visualization, for any of you don't know. A Power BI, so a business intelligence analyst, you might not be using Power BI, you could be using Tableau, but if you just love creating fantastic visuals to show your data off, that might be up your street. I really like that. You could be a bit of all of these things, you know, and the list isn't exhaustive. I know with some of the people we're training, they've got job titles that I've never even heard of, that I haven't even heard of before, because it's this learning tech is there's jobs created around you. So you can, there's lots of different pathways you can take. Obviously I'm going to be biased and talk about us, me and Mally, but you can go to university. You know, you can go to other training providers. The thing is with university, it's a fantastic route, and there are progression routes after you've done the data analyst to go to university and stuff like that. But if you're working and you're busy full time, it's almost an impossibility, and it's a lot of money. Choosing a higher apprenticeship route, if your employer buys in, is actually funded and free of charge to you. And if employers aren't using their levy funding currently, they can tap into that and utilize that funding to train you all in tech and all of this fun stuff. And you can just be building Google Chrome extensions just for fun, making lots of money. So we offer, as I've mentioned, the data analyst level 4. I've got a few new ones coming in the bank, a level 3 and a level 7 in AI. Mally's helping with that loads at the minute, and Sally. But for the data analyst level 4 particularly, you will receive all of these badges, and every month there's a different theme. And it basically allows you to explore. It was written by my good self and my colleagues in Projecting Success, and every month you get to explore a different concept in technology, and it will allow you to choose what you are most interested in, and you'll just find your path. So if you are interested, do let me know. I've got my QR code. You can add me on LinkedIn, or you can message us through our website. But yeah, I would like to do some more lunch and learns as well. So I'd love to know from you guys in the chat what you'd like to see. So maybe a mid-journey hour to show you how to generate AI art. I'm sure Sam would like to get involved with that. She'll be teaching in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I just want to highlight that there's a lot of fears and there's a lot of scaremongering on LinkedIn and various other channels at the moment about the use of AI. I mean, we teach ethics at Projecting Success, and the safe use and the ethical use of artificial intelligence. But you haven't got to, I see it so much about people fearing that AI is going to take people's jobs and things like that. It's the person that can use it that will take over the world. And you guys, hopefully at the end of this, will have built loads of Chrome extensions you're going to send me some cash for. So fabulous. So just a note, we have got a project hack coming up on the 27th and 28th of February. If you want to join in, it is online. It's a little less interactive. We do it at Tottenham Hotspur's football stadium. If you support Tottenham, if you don't, tough, you're going to go there. So the hack is online. It's a little bit less interactive, but it'll help you to really focus on working in some wonderful teams and building some brilliant stuff with loads of different companies' challenges. I can give you a discount as well. So if you message me and you really want to come, but you don't want to pay the full price, obviously you're all my friends, so I'll give you a little discount to come along. And yeah, no, it's a really great for your CPD, and it gets you applying some technical skills. And if you feel, oh my goodness, I've not got any technical skills, you don't have to be very techie. You can project manage, you can look after the teams, you can observe what's going on, and you will pick lots of invaluable skills up and make loads of new friends. Also, you can become a sponsor. So any questions on that, give me a shout. And if you want to sign up to the news, please do. As soon as GPT-4's out, as soon as Bard is out, I'll be letting everybody know in my news circle. So do keep in touch with me. Make sure to follow me on LinkedIn, because I like some really weird and wonderful things. And I did a Valentine's Day poem for Liam the other day, and it was quite funny using Chat GPT. I think Sally did it actually. And you know, we just do loads of weird and wacky things, and you might find some inspiration from it. And also, please follow our CEO. He has, you know, he's got what he doesn't know about projects and project data analytics. He's endless, and he is a real thought leader in you know, the future of project data analytics. So he's fascinating to follow. So, does anybody have any questions you want to ask? Shall I have a little look in the chat and see if anybody's put any questions?
Just to let you know, your QR code wasn't working for some reason.
Oh, that's a shame.
LinkedIn. So just yeah, just to let everyone know.
put
But
one
obviously
on.
you can find Victoria because she's got the Mally next to her. So yeah, okay.
So let me go through some of these. Can we all watch the recording afterwards? Yes, you won't be able to straight away. It'll be released in around 24 to 48 hours, but I'll let everybody know. And I'll put it on my channel and our PDA and Projecting Success channel. Muted again. He ain't coming next time, is it? 2021 lyric, yes, it's not actually intelligent, of course, as it's not conscious. That's right. With all these things, it's vital to keep human beings in the loop and not allow technology to dumb down society. Absolutely. And we cover this a lot in the ethical aspects of our training. You know, I refer to Mally as a he, you know, and that in itself could be, well, why do you call him a he? It's an it. But the thing is the way I see it from my personal perspective, and it is just my personal perspective, is I built it like a toy and I love it. So that it's an extension of my imagination. So that is why I call him a him, and I love him. Loving Fizzy Pops, my kitten. But you are quite right, and you know, this could lead to dumbing down if we don't use it wisely. There's a better version of Bard available now. Is there? I'll have to have a little look at that. Do any of the models reference the sources used? Any of the models? Do you mean my models or any model? You'd have to come back to me on that one, Karen, in the chat. Get info on career options. But I did comment attributed multiple. What will happen to human intelligence or actually reading a book and keeping brains active? This is true. I mean, my good friend and colleague Lawrence Rowland was trying to understand a very, very technical book that Lawrence was reading. It does not surprise. I mean, everything he reads surprises me. Lawrence is like a machine. And he was trying to understand a book, and he was putting the concepts into Chat GPT to help explain it last night. So, you know, not all is lost, but I get the point. Okay. To the year that's so late on ethical concision, safety. Yeah, again, it's all about training. There will be people, you know, as people are using it to create tools, like I'm creating a homework Mally for my 10 and 7-year-old stepchildren. I have to be really careful. I can't launch it with them because he's too good at giving. He likes to give them the answers. So you can imagine that can be a real nightmare as a parent. So, you know, there are ethical and safety considerations, and again, it all comes down to training and development if you're aware of them. But you've got to be aware as well that there will be people out there not using them for good. So you knowing how to use them for good is probably a good thing. If it's worth upgrading to Plus, and it says ChatGPT doesn't exist. Well, no, it won't know because it only has data up to 2021. I know that is really daft, isn't it? What can't they build now? Yeah. Person modules and data on this friendship. All the tests and modules of the data analyst apprenticeships. No, it won't, because I've got a proofreading Mally and he's better than 50%. Terry. Thank you so much. It's always fantastic. Fabulous. Cool. Any advice on how to get into the AI industry? Yeah, I think follow people that are already in the AI industry and start liking some of their content. Take some inspiration, use Chat GPT as a guide, come to people like us that can help you kickstart your career. You know, and this college and universities that do the same, but the only difference with the skills that we teach is you'll be working on real live projects that in machine learning models that you can actually apply into your workplace, etc., so that you'll be able to connect all the skills that you're learning to the actual role itself. Whereas sometimes if you watch an online e-learning video, it can be difficult to know how to apply some of the tools and the skills. Fabulous. To train it on internal company data so we can solve business problems. Well, you need James, you need a Mally or whatever you want to call it. You need a bot that you train on your own data through OpenAI. We can teach you how to do that. So it basically, like I was mentioning earlier, Mally's a model, ChatGPT is a model, so you would need a specific model for your own business, but it's pretty straightforward to do once you know how. Fabulous. Develop responding with more than just text. You review your presentation, do your presentation, set up tools. What do you think is the next big step? I think the next one of the biggest steps, and especially if you're using Midjourney and AI art software at the minute, will be putting prompts in and actually saying I want to watch a horror movie and I want it to be this long and I want it to have these characters in it, and it'll be able to produce the movie. And that will be really scary times when that happens, but it is, I think we are getting ever closer to that reality. You can already create ads, like I can create my Sally. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big step. But in terms of presentations and things, absolutely. All you need to do with your present, you can do it now. All you need to do with your presentations is to get it on the web, turn it into a URL like in your OneDrive, and then copy that URL and put it into Chat GPT, and it will give you the feedback, just like it did with the data analyst level 4 qualification in the L&D section. So you can already do that. You just have to think around it a little bit. Anything else? The recording, so it'll be on the PDA and Projecting Success channel. I'll put it on mine as well, so it'll be everywhere. So you can have a watch back if you like. Do let me know. Do comment if you're going to build Google Chrome extensions as well. I really want to know. Fabulous. Can't see any other questions. How can we move AI beyond human biases? Because bias is there in everything already written. Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's so different to Malik. I said, we've got 5 cats, so he prefers the cats to dogs. Doesn't hate dogs, but he's already got that preference because I've trained him to have that preference. So, you know, it's a really big ethical question. And again, come on the course and we'll debate it and we'll get the answers you're looking for. We have managed to do that in 58 minutes. Oh. Let me know in the chat if you're still with me. Let me know what you want next for Lunch and Learn. I'm thinking a bit of mid-journey AI art. Be great for your presentations. You'll absolutely love it. I can get you prompting. I could even get Martin teaching it because he absolutely adores it, and Sam, so I don't have to do much. The course is funded, so free, which is fabulous. And I'm really pleased that people have enjoyed it. If you have any feedback, please message me. I'd love to take it in because we want to do more of this. We want to work with the community. We want you to now to do some great stuff. And you know, I teach on the program. We have a whale of a time. I've got some of our candidates on the call, and they're absolutely awesome. And some of the stuff they're doing is phenomenal. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you. Fabulous. Well, it's been lovely to see you all. I shall see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well done,
See you
Vicky.
later.
It's
See you
brilliant.
later, guys. Yeah, well done, Vicky. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vicky.